guys. So we on.
All right. So
Hippocratic
good morning,
Oath.
Synergy TV, Stefan Ruiz,
Yeah, man.
and all of our viewers. All right. So Hippocratic Oath is actually a topic I wanted to do for some years now, but I keep putting it off. All right. So to understand the Hippocratic Oath, first, let us just get an idea of Hippocrates. Hippocrates, this is from a guy from over 2,000 years ago. All right. He is someone in the medical field that is known or is called the father of medicine. He created a school back in the days that took people out of the old mindset with regards to disease and sickness. So he was revolutionary, because back then people believed that when you are sick or disease, it was a curse from the God and so forth. But he pulled people back and get people to understand that sickness is due to diet, lifestyle, and environmental changes.
Right.
So environmental factors. All right, so it took people out of that. So he had the Hippocratic School of Medicine. That's what it was later called, because he would have taught his students and stuff. And that's basically what created the whole doctor system or physician system that we have today. So back then, he created an oath that his students would have had to recite and uphold. And that oath, some of the main or the key things in that oath was to do no harm, teach medicine freely, and above all, basically, use food and lifestyle as your first form of healing. All right, so this is something that all doctors would have sworn to uphold, but we have to ask our question, a question today. Do medicine or medical practitioners today honor that, or are they betraying it? And that's the question. So if we address the first point, which is the do no harm, we're going to see some issues up front.
Right.
So that was the first part of the, or the most powerful part of the oath. And it is something that is the most violated part of the oath. Do no harm. Do you know of any drugs that have no negative side effects?
None.
Any?
None. All have
Absolutely
negative
none.
side effects. All.
Right? You have things like chemotherapy, of course, very harmful to the human body. You have radiation treatment, very harmful to the human body. Immune suppressant drugs, very harmful to the human body. And these lifelong prescription drugs, like what we were dealing with over the past couple of weeks, like things for hypertension and so forth, very harmful to the human body.
Right.
So we know that oath itself has been broken. Right? Why? Why? I could only see one reason why, and it's for profit. They'll tell you that the side effects that you face are better than the actual health issue. That still breaches the oath. Do no harm, right? If your job is to do no harm, why are you prescribing stuff that are extremely harmful? Some of which the drugs or the treatment is more harmful than the actual illness itself.
Right.
And which I've shown previously when we looked at stuff like cancer treatments, right? But when you look at the profit of it, because cancer treatments are the most expensive medical treatments in existence today.
Yeah.
So it's a very profitable business. So that's one area that we see being violated. One principle violated there. Then we have the no surgeries. The original Hippocratic Oath was no surgeries. Reason being, when you think about what a surgery is, you're going into somebody's body. It means you have to literally cut them open. Do you know how much nutrients it takes to heal that area that you damaged, to enter? So you say you're going in to fix a problem, but it can, and in many cases it does create a lot more deficiencies. Now, am I saying that one should not do surgeries? I'm not saying that. But surgeries today are abused. It is abused. They recommend surgeries for a lot of stuff. For example, cesarean section. That is an abused area.
Okay.
Right? A lot of women have been issued to do a cesarean section because it's a money maker. Many of them don't have to do it. Right? Some women now would even think it's an option. I don't want to go through the natural birth. I would choose to do cesarean section. And they're, oh, sure, because it pays more. That's the system that we are under today. Profitable amputations. Like even people that are diabetic. I've had people come to me, Stefan, if I tell you some of these stories that I hear in these consultations. I have people that come to me They have all the toes, right? But they said, at a time they had an injury to the toe, the diabetic, and the hospital or the clinic, the doctor is telling them, you have to amputate. And they refused, and their feet is fine now. Right? So why was that being pushed when there are alternatives?
There are other options, yeah.
And other options.
That's the
putting
thing.
in stents,
Because
gastric bypass.
But that's the thing, because surgery, anytime you have to go under a knife, right? Anytime you have to recommend a surgery is supposed to be like the last resort.
Yep.
Never a first option. Right?
Look, you have things like gastric bypass. Instead of teaching people about proper nutrition, let us put something to reduce your stomach capacity. Let's either remove some of the stomach or put a sleeve to make you eat less.
But do doctors
surgery?
Do doctors during their medical journey, right? Do they learn nutrition?
When it comes to nutrition, which brings another point. They get less than the average doctor get under 20 hours in all of their years of medical training.
On nutrition?
So, yeah, under 20 hours. I did a segment, the segment when I did that was when either earlier this year or last year, I think it was. All right, and it shows that the average doctor gets 11 hours. Right?
Okay.
11 hours. And since 1985, they said that doctors aren't getting enough in nutritional training in med school. And they said, well, they should get a minimum of 25 hours. 25 hours is still too little. And since then, it has dropped to 11 hours.
Wow.
Right? So they are not trained in nutrition. And that alone tells you that the motive has nothing to do with health. It's about profit. It's about profit. It's always about profit. The other thing is free medical education. Free medical education. Hippocrates, anybody that wanted to become a doctor, right, the oath was to teach it free. No cost for med school, right?
Okay.
It was something to be taught free because knowledge was considered sacred, not to be paid for, right? You're not paying to become a doctor. Right? That is a sacred thing that they view it as something like that. Today now, it is for profit. You know how much doctors, and we see this through COVID, because I'll show you the connection. They come out of med school with so much of debt that they are now anchored to the system. Why you think so many doctors were so silent during COVID?
Yeah.
They are anchored to the system, even though things are happening that they do not agree with. They are afraid to say anything about it because then if they lose the work, they're going to have all this debt and no means in which to pay it.
Okay.
So it's used now as a tool. It's one of the most expensive careers.
Yeah.
One of the most expensive
Medicine
careers
and law.
to be educated in.
Medicine and law. Two most expensive, yeah.
Right? And that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. Now, Hippocrates is also known and well documented for his teaching of let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine thy food.
Right.
His push was always for nutrition first. Nutrition first. I've had many people come to me with cancer and say, okay, so what your doctor's going to tell you about nutrition, about your diet? They say I can eat anything. I've had people come to me with colon cancer. Stefan, colon cancer is part of your digestive system. I say, and what they tell you, you need to change your diet. They say, no, you can eat anything. You don't need to change nothing. Because they don't have that knowledge.
Yeah, you know,
right?
it's interesting, right? I mean, just something simple like this. Right? Like, let's say like me with my little tummy, right? That has gotten out of control over the last few years. If, they're laughing at the back. It's interesting because, I'll tell you why. If you go to a doctor, right? The doctor will tell you, to get our belly down, diet. Hold on, they'll say diet.
Yeah.
You go to the gym. You walk your belly down, here what the gym instructor will tell you, the man who is being paid to supervise your workouts or give you your workouts or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He making $1 for that. But he tells you, weight loss in term is 70% diet, 30% exercise. So it's more diet than exercise, right?
Correct.
Right. at no point in time, because they say your gut is where the majority of your immune system is, right? And once you have a healthy immune system, you know what I mean? You could fight off it.
You could have a healthy immune system.
So once your immune system is healthy, we're just using simple logic here, common sense, right?
Yeah.
So if I have a big belly, it means that my gut is not healthy.
Correct.
We can agree on that.
Correct. Yep.
But never in the history of going to a doctor have I ever heard that there is a medication to get my belly down. It's always diet. It's always what you eat.
Yeah.
So I could now draw a line in the sand and say, what I eat makes me healthy.
Correct. Your nutrition is the most important thing with regards to health.
And there is no medication that a doctor will prescribe for you for weight loss. They will always tell you a diet. So that within itself, to me, is admitting
that nutrition
is key.
Is key.
That nutrition comes before anything else.
Why aren't they schooling it?
So and this is the next thing. They will tell you that. But okay, they're not schooled now to tell you what is the proper diet. Right? Based on, because every individual different, I would imagine you speak to a lot of people when they come through the holistic health clinic. So not everybody is the same. So obviously you would advise, what you would advise to me, you might not advise to somebody else.
Well, what I do is this. I first educate people on the biological system, because a lot of people have a misconception that human beings could choose what they want to eat.
Yeah.
For example, a cow in India and a cow in Trinidad eats what? What do they eat?
Grass.
Oh, all cows worldwide, correct?
Yeah, grass, yeah.
So diets are species specific. Diets are species specific. You don't have cows saying, well, today I don't feel to eat grass. We had an instance in history.
I'll go eat a chicken today. Yeah, you don't see how cows saying, I've a little chicken today, you know.
Farmers did decide at a point in history to feed cows different, and what resulted from that? Mad cow disease.
Mad cow disease.
That resulted from that, right? So cows are designed to have a biological diet. Farmers took them off of their biological species-specific diet and decided, I'm going to feed them what we think would make them grow faster. And a disease developed.
Right.
Humans are the most diseased creatures in existence. What does that tell us? Doesn't that mean we're eating bad? We are not eating our species-specific diet?
Yeah.
We are the most diseased.
It makes sense.
Right?
I mean,
we are the most diseased. Just using simple logic.
Yeah.
Right?
That's simple. Yeah, that's basic logic. Yeah.
So when it comes to this Hippocratic Oath, I am probably the only person following it. Right? I sell no products, Stefan. No supplements, no tonics, nothing.
Yeah.
I simply deal with correcting the diet. I re-educate. So knowledge, and then I coach.
Yeah, I mean,
knowledge, and then I coach. That's it. That's it. I have no product like you have to come to me only for, right? I have nothing like that, because that is not how the body is designed to heal. Those are all symptom suppressions.
Right.
Right? I don't deal with symptom suppression. I deal with root cause. Right? When people come to me, I tell people this. When you come to me, clear your mind. Empty your mind out of all your preconceived views on nutrition. Because people come to me sick and they say this, eat healthy. And I tell them, don't say that. Right? If you was eating healthy, you wouldn't be sick in the first place. Yeah. Exactly. Right? So while you're there thinking, now I'm eating healthy, you're not, or else you wouldn't be sick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because we come up with all sorts of other reasons for sickness, except the right reasons.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Hippocratic Oath, there has been a betrayal. Now some would say, oh, it's old and it's outdated. Yes, there are things in it that is old and outdated, but the principle is what remains.
Is what remains.
For example, they'll say, oh, the Hippocratic Oath was dealing with pledging to the old gods and whatnot. When our current Prime Minister was sworn in the other day, she did not swear in on a Bible or on Bhagavad Gita or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
She swore on the Constitution.
Yes.
Right? Because that would include everybody, regardless of your religious background or whatnot. Did it change what she was saying she's going to uphold? No.
No.
No. The principle remained the same principle.
Right.
So when people come and say, oh, that is old thing and whatnot, no. The principle is what you have to look at. If the principle says, do no harm, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're holding a scalpel or pills. It doesn't matter. Do no harm, whether it's a knife or whether it's drugs. Do no harm. That principle runs across the board regardless of the situation or circumstance. And this is why I tell people we must always go back to nutritional therapy. Let your food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. But we are also part and parcel to blame for how the system is, because a lot of people only want shortcuts.
Well, that's the next
People
thing.
only want shortcuts. That's the thing.
But
a lot of people just want shortcuts. They don't want the...
But we almost be out of time, but I know we could always continue this, but I had to go to the break. I had to wrap up. But
no problem.
If people want more information, of course, you can contact Setwayola Board. It's very simple. 2793935 or 7611952. But I think everybody should have an understanding of what the Hippocratic Oath is and what it stems from and the core principles of it.
And the new one that they remove some of these things that I mentioned here.
Right. Yeah. And I see here this morning, I'm now going through something here, and acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen, yeah.
Acetaminophen. I see that President Trump made a claim yesterday linking the use of Tylenol during pregnancy to autism. And, you know, I'm just going through Google here, what the experts say, and no link, and no, you know, they are criticizing the claim. Okay?
Yeah.
But the FDA did put out a statement on it yesterday. And there are a lot of people with autism, and I think one of the things he said is that 40%, they said that 40% of mothers with children who are autistic have claimed that they believe that it happened because of the vaccine, because there is a vaccine that they give them. Whether there is any credibility to that, I do not know, as it relates to the vaccine. But on the Tylenol issue, maybe that's something you could touch on, because you were one of the first people that brought up that particular
acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. You spoke about that already.
Correct, and it's number 2 cause for liver transplants.
That's right. I remember we had a program on that. So maybe that's something we could touch on as a hot topic. But I gotta go to the break.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so thanks for having me.
Yeah,
and
man.
you all look out for the book. My book will be coming out soon.
Nice.
All right, you are not sick. You are malnourished. Will be coming out soon.
All right, cool. Well, I look at I'm malnourished. Yeah, boy. All right, so thanks a lot. I have a little malnourishment.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right, people, so we got to go to the break. When we come back from the break, we got the birthday. Stay tuned. We're back after this, day before Republic Day.